Hey, people of all genders, ethnicities, ages, and sorts. Chunk here, and today I'm gonna talk to you about something that's kind of been on my mind here a lot recently, and it deals kind of with YouTube mainly, but mostly it deals with the comment section. As a person who posts videos on YouTube, but more importantly, a person who watches YouTube videos from all sorts of people, I've noticed that comments have kind of gotten a bit out of control here recently. Things have just kind of went downhill fast, and you might have noticed that it's been there's been a wide effect. Many channels have started, disabling comments on their videos, which just isn't a good thing because the comments are there for you to be able to reach out to the person posting the video and also for them to, connect with you and see what your opinion is. But recently, it's just kind of become a terrible place. It's just become a new age Detroit in the comment sections of many YouTubers who I like to watch, and maybe it's just them, but it feels like it's really widespread and rampant against a lot of different groups of YouTubers, and it's kind of gotten to the point where it's starting to be a problem. And not that people are, putting their opinion forward or too much, but that's having an effect on the people who are posting videos. It's not the only thing having an effect, but it does have an effect due to the number of negative comments that are anymore posted. I mean, sure, you shouldn't let what people say harm you or change who you are in any way, but if someone says something a certain number of times, it's gonna hurt you, and sooner or later you're gonna get tired of it and start doing something about it. And it's kind of been happening a lot. If you don't know, I'm a big fan of this group called The Creatures. If you don't know who they are, I'll put a link in the description so you can check out The Creatures. But they are a group of people who just do gaming videos together, do videos in general, and they just have a good time together, a group of friends. And recently in the comments, a lot of them have been getting bashed. I mean, they'll bring on new people, and that person will get bashed just for being a new person. And while it might, not, well, it's hard to put it into words, but while it shouldn't affect them, it is. It's going to have an effect. Some have even mentioned that they're a bit more hesitant about doing stuff. And in their series, they'll have instances where one of them, who is really popular, will do something, and then another will happen to do something similar, or, you have certain occasions like that where someone does something and he just gets berated for it, and or her, or people just get berated for it and just get a lot of hate coming down on them for doing it. Yet that if another person who people happen to like more would have done that, they wouldn't have gotten hit hard at all. People wouldn't have been too hard on them. And it's kind of to the point, like, well, you're pretty much basically telling them to stop being who they are. Now, you should never let what someone else says change who you are, but like I said, so many times being told the same thing, it's gonna get to you, and eventually you're gonna be hesitant to do what you do, be who you are, and you might eventually stop being who you are. People can mold others through that, and it's not a good thing. And and I'm just speaking on this as a person who really watches videos. I'll watch videos a lot in my free time just because I enjoy the content people put out there, but I mainly look to follow people and watch content based off of people who I just like them for who they are. I like seeing who they are as far as I see it, and when they get berated, it's kind of like, well, I like who they are. I don't want them to change. I enjoy who they are. Who they are makes content that I enjoy watching, and I don't want that to change, but I can't help it if they're just hammered until they, end up making a subconscious decision. They stop wanting to be hammered so hard by people that they just stop being who they are, and that can ruin the content in the end. I mean, some channels, are disabling comments, and I don't really want that because it's an important thing for people to talk with other people in their video, about their videos, about the content they put up, and it's just kind of like, why can't we make it a bit more of a nice place? And I have no right to tell you, not to say this, or tell you not to have an opinion, or tell you, you can't hate this. I have no right to tell you anything. I can't, right? I don't have the right. I don't have the power. I'm in no way better than you. I'm an opinionated person as well. We all are like that. But you also don't have the right to tell these people, these large entities out there, in social media, who they should be, what they should do, to berate them and tell them who they should be, try and mold them into who you want them to be. And also, you're kind of being a hypocrite if you try and hammer me for telling you this, but I'm just asking. And I have no right to tell you anything, but everybody has the right to ask, But I feel like this has just got to the point where it's a problem, and it's gonna get bigger. It's gonna become a bigger problem. And the community has just become toxic. And when that happens, it's not enjoyable. When I play Smite, one player who's toxic just ruins the match for me. Just straight out ruins it. I can't enjoy the game. Just because that one person is toxic. I shouldn't let it affect me, but I do, and I just can't help it. And can't just ask me to change, but I'm not going to ask them to change. It's just something where it's like, oh, well, I guess it's a necessary evil and I'll deal with it. But we have people out there who are just this toxic community. All these toxic people are just expanding and the hate is growing. They make a toxic comment to someone, they make a toxic comment back and get replies, they're toxic. And it's just spreading. It's like a poison. It's like a disease almost, where people are just letting hate guide what they're saying. They're just looking to hate in the end, which just doesn't end up being a good thing, as it will affect people. It always will, and probably never will stop, but it can be fought. You just gotta try and be in a positive mood, positive encouragement. Just, be fine with people being who they are. That's what I want to do when I watch a video. When I follow someone, when I subscribe to someone, I'm subscribing to them because I like who they are. Not necessarily because I like their content. I like who they are. As a person, I feel like I could be friends with them. I like who they are. I think they're a good person, and I enjoy being around them. I enjoy seeing what they're doing on a daily basis. And I don't really want them to change, because that's what brings me the content that I enjoy. That's what allows me to get, watch a 10-minute video and get 10 minutes of joy out of it, because I'm just watching someone who I overall like as a person. But as these comments go on and all this hate spreads, it's inevitably going to change people. It always will. People are not set in stone. They do change. Sometimes it's a good thing, but sometimes it's a bad thing. And you don't want to change another person. I've made mistakes in my life where I asked someone to change and they did, and I've regretted it, because I had no right to do so. I've made that mistake and I regretted it completely. And I see people doing this, and because it's over the internet, they're not going to grasp fully the effects of what they're doing, what they're asking these people, what they're telling these people to do. And, telling them to change. And if that person does, they probably won't regret it, because they're not going to be around it every day. They're not going to see the result of what they did. They're not going to fully feel the effect. But others around them will, and it's just not going to be a good thing. I regretted it when I did it, and I've tried to make amends for it for a while, and you just never feel like you can do enough to make amends for that. And with people here online, they're not even going to feel sorrow about it, because it's online. You're you're affecting someone all the way over there. That's why, cyberbullying became such a huge issue, because people just didn't feel like they had done something wrong because they did it over the internet. You didn't see the effects right out there in front of you, and that has led to loss of life in certain cases. It's gotten bad. I mean, there's even movies about where this stuff caused someone to take their own life. And it's... Sure, we're kind of getting past that, but it's not really that we're getting past it towards stopping. It's that we're getting to the point where people are just accepting it as a necessary evil, or just going to take it on and bottle it up, and we'll never fully see the effects because we won't be able to identify it. And, like I said, I have no right to tell anybody what to do, or I don't even have the right to ask, I should say. I don't. But I don't want to see these people who make content I enjoy stop making that content, or change who they are. Just because people, couldn't accept them for who they are. So, I'm just saying my opinion out here. It's just what I've felt about this subject, and it's gotten to be a bad thing over the past year. I mean, it feels like it's just been gradually growing. I mean, you got people who are constantly trying to ignite flame wars. You've got people who are just looking to get angry at someone for doing something stupid. It's like, well, why are you getting angry with them? Why are you giving them so much hate? And then you have those people who are just taking advantage of it and feeding off of that hate, so they're just going to continue doing whatever, causes them to be berated and have people hate them over and over again. I mean, it's just getting to be a bad situation overall. I mean, you can look around and you can see where it's had an effect, and I feel like it's almost become a YouTube exclusive thing, because I go over to Twitch and you don't get it quite as bad. I mean, sure, you've got a few rotten eggs out there, but that's to be expected, and it's not enough to really hurt people. But you can actually fight it on live streaming services. You can fight it. I mean, you can actively, try and talk with them, actively see what's going on. They can actively see the effect that their actions has. And that's a bit better than just YouTube comments, where you can just leave the comment and leave the video and you never see what it did to them. You don't have to care at all. Well, on Twitch, I mean, you can post it and leave, but why? Why would you even do it? Then you're just trying to hurt people, which, if you don't know, that's not nice. I guess Twitch can be just as bad if people decide to move there and make it that way. In which, what would probably just happen is many of the people on Twitch, they just abandon it. They would find somewhere else to go. They'd find some other streaming site. There's others out there. There's Hitbox, MLG. They'd go somewhere else, because they just wouldn't want to deal with it. And what could end up happening is you could just see a bunch of migrations happening. People moving around, avoiding this toxic community, which I couldn't blame them. I'd probably join them. As you know, I've kind of been on Twitch a lot more, but that's mainly just because I enjoy the fan engagement. I enjoy being able to talk to people while I play games and they watch. Sure, I haven't been able to talk with them much because usually it's just Kyle or Lily there, but still, I get to talk to them and I enjoy that, and that makes it worth it. And it's just overall a bit more enjoyable than just doing stuff alone. But I guess that's my rant on what's kind of been going on, and just some food for thought. I mean, just think it over, and if you've seen it, just think about how this could be resolved, how this could work without people just disabling comments, making it to where they gotta go to other sources in order to be able to connect with the people watching the content they put up. and my computer just decided to go into sleep mode because I've just been talking here into my mic for a while now. But, you know, if you agree with me, share this video, see if we can get something moving. If not, you know, you don't have to do anything. I'm just asking you. If you agree, like the video, that's all you gotta do. And so this is Chunk, or Third Hand Chunk, depending on what you know me by. And thanks for listening. Bye.